Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Eric here, Future Knight, back with another deck profile. Today we are going to be looking at my updated Mermail Atlantean deck profile. I came home today from locals after going 4-0. I did unfortunately get a bye in the first round, but my next three matchups were against some of the better players in South Africa and in Gauteng, which is where I'm positioned in South Africa. And yeah, I thought I'd show the updated deck profile, the deck profile I'm going to be using going into this upcoming Dragoons format, I suppose you could call it. And yeah, there's not much to say. It's very similar to my previous list, aside from a few cards. I will explain a few card choices and ratios as we go. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the deck profile. I will be speaking a little bit about my matchups as we go along. I played 3 rounds, essentially, with the 1 round being a bye, so 4 rounds. I played against Orcus, Salamangreat, and then Dragon Maids. The Orcus player was Yasha, my good friend, who I keep going up against. With him, it's quite funny. What ends up happening is whoever wins the dice roll usually wins, and then whoever draws the most hand trap usually wins. So luckily that was me this time around. And round 2 or 3, I suppose, was against my friend Ashfear, who's playing Salamangreat. Dragoons didn't do me too well there, but I still ended up taking the dub anyway. We were basically top decking, trying to get into something to do things. I actually ended up drawing every single brick. I will name those out when I get there, but the bricks actually helped me progress the game state, which is quite cool. And then the final round was against Byron, which was very interactive. It was quite back and forth until we got to a point where either I got to my starter or he got his starter, and in both situations I got to my starter. Also, that is where this card came up, but I will speak about that when we get to the extra deck. So starting off pretty simple, we're still playing the 3 Deep Sea Divas. Insane card. Again, the Neptibus I feel is a better normal summon, easier normal summon to bait out those Ash Blossoms, so that when you send the Dragoons across, they'll Ash the ad of an Atlantean monster, and then your Dragoons can add your Lapis Dragon, and you can still do Needle Fiber, or now we have the option to do the other combo, which is that of the Anaconda combo. So still a better normal summon. If this does resolve, however, you do basically just win the duel. It's insane. In certain instances, this card can lead to Calamities and Dragoons, or Barload, Savage Dragon, Herald and Dragoons. It's wild. I can't believe it. Obviously we are playing our 3 Dragoons in the main deck. Wink wink nudge nudge. The 3 Dragoons, absolutely insane. Still do what they've been doing since they released. How this card is at 3 in this deck, I don't know, but it's insane. It's an awesome card. This is basically, like I said in my previous video, this is the package along with the triple minstrel. I did try playing this at 2. It's not good. You have to play it at 3. If you open this, you don't actually have to add it off of the Dragoons from your Neptibus, so you can actually do some other interactions there, and then you can also stop the hand trap before they even have a chance to use it, because there are a few minor interactions with the other normal summons that can be hand trapped. Now we are playing the 3 Abyssteus still. I think this card is now better because of Dragoons and the Cobra, the link to the Predator, Anaconda, sorry, my word. My brain's a little bit fried from today. I had to do some big brain plays. But yeah, so this card is a little bit better now, simply being able to get another body on board, just so you can get 2 effect monsters, so then essentially go off and create one of the most powerful cards in the game. Also, we are still playing the Besspike. It's essentially another normal summon that can get you some different plays, but we are also playing Abyssstein. Now, this card is very underrated. Shout outs to Cam for hooking me up with one. He had 2 and he managed to send me 1. So this card, as it reads, is when this card is added from your deck or graveyard to your hand by a card effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. You must control a Mermail monster to activate and to resolve this effect. That does come up because I did try and add it off of Atlantean, and then Atlantean got ogred, so I couldn't resolve the summon. If I could, I would have been able to go full Needle Fiber combo because my Deep Sea Diva had been ashed at that point. But yeah, that is very important. And then from there, when this card is special summoned by the effect of a Mermail monster, you can target at 1 level 3 or lower Mermail monster in your graveyard, special summon that target. So it's actually got quite a few different uses. We don't play the level 3 that could potentially summon from the graveyard because we only play the one of and the Abyss Spike, which is a level 4 unfortunately, but still a great card. Being able to add this off of Abyss Spike or off of the Abyss Teos means you'll always have 2 bodies on board with the draw of one of these 4, and then you can basically go Anaconda combo, and it's not great. I noticed that today just the Dragoons isn't sometimes enough in this format, but it is good just to have this extra body, extra extender. We are still playing the Arborea. Same thing as what I spoke about last time with the combo. This plus pretty much 2 water monsters equals full combo, because you discard a water monster, add Spike discards the other water monster, adds Borea, link the 2 into, you can actually go into the Anaconda, not use its effects, just use its arrows, and then you can special summon the Borea and then do the Needle Fiber combo if you need to, or if you just want to end on the Dragoons, you can there as well. That's it pretty much for the Mermails, Atlanteans and Deep Sea cards. Then for some, well, the one of Moon Glacier, we are no longer playing, unfortunately, the Megalo. It's unnecessary in this deck pretty much, because if you go first, you establish the Calamities, and you can establish the Barload Savage with the Herald, and after that you just need 2 monsters, and then you get Dragoons, and then it's OTK anyway. So having this on board though is very, very cool. So if you end on Calamities or the Barload Savage and Herald with this, the OTK is even more likely, because then you can summon Dragoons plus the 4050 Barload Savage, plus this is 100% game. Calamities plus this plus Dragoons is game. So just a great card. Also being able to rip 2 very important cards from your opponent's hand is important. Today against Ashvir, I ripped out his Sarnet Mining and I believe his Will of the Salamangreats in game 2, which is you know, absolutely wild. So yeah, very, very powerful card. Still have to play at 1. I did consider cutting it, as it is technically a brick and sometimes unnecessary, but this card is what makes this deck almost favorable with the whole Needle Fiber Dragoons engine. Then we're still playing 2 Atlantean Heavy Infantry. I decided to cut the one that pops sec cards. It's garbage. I mean, the normal summon of this isn't an activated effect, so it's like a continuous effect. So unless they have Imperm or Effect Veiler, they can't stop the additional normal. So if you normal this, and then you go for your Diva, and they ash the Diva, you can literally still go full combo with the 2 effect monsters / Tuna and other monster. So great card. It also allows that when you open with both of these guys in hand, you can summon this off of the Diva, and then you can summon the Neptibus, which gives you more bodies, so that you can end on the full board with the Calamities and the Dragoons. So great card. I might consider bumping this up to 3. It is a little bit of a brick depending on the rest of your hand, so at 2 I'm enjoying it for now, and the deck is very, very tight. 2 Lapis Dragons, I explained this in my last video. You don't want to run 1 because if you draw it, it's rip, but you have to run the 2, and you'll always see 1 in your opening hand pretty much every game, but then you know you'll always have 1 extra in the deck. Hand trap wise, we're playing 3 Ash, and then because of the remote duel invitational, I've now come to realize just how powerful and insane this card is. This card won me a game today that I should have probably lost against Yasha. When he normal summons a scrap recycler, you gamma it, and it's like GG, you know, like it's insane. Super powerful cards. We do also run the emergency teleport to get this out because it is a tuner, so that can help with your combo. Yeah, just overall insane cards, very, very powerful. Ash, I don't know, I'm kind of iffy right now. I don't have Nibiru's and I don't have Imperms, so Ash is probably the best replacement or the best placeholder for those for now. I might change them for Effect Veilers at some point, but Imperms and Nibiru's unfortunately are out of my budget. And then for your needle fiber package, we just play the 3. So I had a game today against Ashvia where I literally drew all 3 of these in my opening hand. All 3 of these, a diva and a diva. And then the diva got ashed, killed it, summoned another diva, got ashed, and I'm like, okay, nah, draw a diva, and then I summoned that 3rd diva, and the 3rd diva resolved, and I was able to like pitch this, and then he Nibiru'd me. But because I had this engraved, I ditched the summon a token, summon this out. I drew an Abyss Teus off of a Phoenix pop, which is when he Nibiru'd, and I was able to go off somewhat, but drawing these in multiples, drawing 2 of these suck. Like this especially, if you draw this, I have a little combo that can end on Appaloosa for 4 plus the Rip 2, or an Appaloosa for it's Appaloosa for 3 with the Rip 2, or an Appaloosa for 4 having Rip 2, but then you're missing your next battle phase. So I mean, drawing this isn't the end of the world, but drawing all 3 sucks, and then drawing this and this sucks. It's all very situational, and obviously you have to run these cards. The deck count is at 43, so the chances of drawing these are a little bit lower, but it happens apparently. And then obviously for the new addition to the deck and our first spell card, Red Eyes Fusion, Red Eyes Black Dragon Dark Magician, both from the Structure Deck Joey and Structure Deck Yugi. Not first edition, I'm not made out of money, but very, very, very nice inclusions to the deck. I only bricked, I think, with Red Eyes once, and with Red Eyes Fusion once. The Red Eyes Fusion was against Yasha. Game 1, I gammed the Recycler, went full combo. Game 2, I opened this Despot, Red Reboot, the Atlantean Infantry, and I think that was it. It was in a Twin Twisters or something. It was ridiculous. So drawing this is the worst, but you know, it is what it is. You have to run this engine in today's game. If you're not playing Dragoons, you're pretty much going to lose to Dragoons. Very important cards, absolutely wild. It's nice that we can play old school Yu-Gi-Oh cards in our meta decks now. Obviously you're playing the guard card 1-for-1. This allows you to play through more hand traps than you usually would be able to. Just an insane card. Emergency teleports. This is to get out the Gammas, and I am running Ghost Ogres in the side. So the Ghost Ogres, when you take out the Gammas, put in Ghost Ogres when you know you're going first, because obviously Gamma going first isn't great. Your monster effects are what gets you to your board, so the Gamma stopping a hand trap is unlikely. But yeah. And then we still run the 2 Deep Sea Aura. I didn't see these ones today, actually. I might bump this up to 3, but again, the deck is tight. It's actually not 43, it's 45. Sorry, excuse me. But I might actually end up cutting these. They didn't come up as much as I thought they would. But for now, I probably will leave them in. Maybe experiment cutting them, leaving them in. They're just great cards in general. 220, you gotta respect Mystic Mind and back row decks. And then a card that I spoke to Byron about a little bit afterwards, 3 call buys. So the idea with this card is that it allows you to get your plays through. And Byron was saying to me, and it makes a lot of sense, that if you have more tuna extenders, or if you have more cards that allow you to extend your plays, essentially the value from that card, those cards, becomes more than what call buy is. Yes, call buy is a great card that, I mean, if you don't use it during your turn, you can set and have it as a disruption, but you would rather have those extra bodies to be able to push through hand traps and make inevitably your full board. So I'm probably going to change these out for, there's 3 options I've looked at. It's either the quick shooter, I've got him here. There we go. Quick Draw Synchron, the one that discards a monster and then summons itself. The Earth Tenny, which is a tuner, obviously, or maybe the Water Tenny, but that isn't a tuner, it's just a level 4 extender, or Ouroborea. But Ouroborea, you need that normal summon quite desperately, whereas the Quick Draw Synchron or the Earth Tenny, or just generic tuner extenders, they don't need anything. I mean, Quick Draw needs another monster. The deck is majority monsters anyway. You can just discard one, summon, still go full combo. So probably going to end up replacing these with Quick Draw Synchrons for now, because that is what I have available to me. But in the future, perhaps a Tenny card, perhaps Ouroboreas. We'll just have to see. Otherwise, great card. I did use it today. Hand traps obviously do suck. But yeah, that is the main deck, 45 cards, like I said. Sorry about that misinformation earlier. We are playing the 4 important tokens, 3 different Mecha Fat Beast, and the Nibiru token. Then for our extra deck, so he's there. He vibing. He just vibing. But we will go with the links first. So it was Link Revo. This is just to manipulate your grave and also get that down arrow, which is important for our Phoenix to get those curling draws. Obviously the Needle Fiber, the Anaconda, which I've spoken about. The what is it called? Auroradon, which makes the Needle Fiber plays possible. Unicorn new edition, definitely welcomed. I just needed that Link 3 that could just remove something without destroying or sending, or it sends it back into the deck, which is perfect. It deals with it completely. The Ningrisu was really cool. It just needed one more resource on board, which unfortunately this deck can't really accommodate for, especially when you're trying to push for game. So no, I definitely enjoyed the Unicorn more so, and it's also easier to make than the Ningrisu. The borrow load, that is because I'm pretty sure 8 other people at our locals now have Dragoons, so this is just to steal their Dragoons, use their Dragoons against them. Just an insane card in general. And because we now have Dragoons, we don't need to play the borrow sword, because the OTK potential is so great with just Dragoons and calamities that's left on your board. We're then playing, obviously, so those are the links, take those away. We are then obviously playing the Needle Fiber package, same old. I am starting to think that the Needle Fiber calamities package, this one, is becoming a little bit expensive. Not money wise obviously, but also because it takes up 5 spaces, and I'm not sure how I feel about one combo taking up 5 extra X spaces. Yes, it gets you a bunch of pluses. Yes, going second, you can pop a bunch of cards. But I found today I was ending on this and just making Barload Savage Dragon, hard making it with like a Bisteus and a Jet Synchron, or Bisteus and a Despot. So, I don't know. It's something to consider. Potentially cutting this whole engine and then focusing on this with the Auroradon, and then just replacing it with 5 good, generic generic links, generic synchros that could just help the deck along in the grind game. You want the games to be quick with this deck, but sometimes they're not. And then finally, the big bad daddy. This card's insane. I summoned it twice today. The first time I just got rammed over by access code after they baited out to negate. That was Salmon Grades. That was Ashfear. The second time I summoned it, it actually won me the game. The burn damage is the burn damage is dumb. I didn't even know it was burn damage, and it is compulsory, so I did forget, but at the end it won me the game because it has to happen. It was against Byron. He had a Dragon Maid with 2700, and he actually Monster Reborned my main deck Dragoons, and it's 18 and 27, and I had him and the Anaconda, so it ended up being 8,000 on the dot. It was wild, and I only had 1,000 life points left because he had been poking me with the Dragoons. He drew basically a full hand of hand traps, and he was just hand trapping me to pieces. And then eventually, when I could get my plays through, I summoned out this boy, and it won me the game. This one card won me a game. Just it's insane. But yeah, that is the extra deck. Like I said, I probably actually wouldn't change a single thing. Maybe take out the Unicorn for a what is it? Mirage for the Ouroborea play potentially, but we'll see what comes in the future. Side deck, I didn't see my side deck much except for the Ogres actually against Yasha. He was about to go full combo pretty much. He had Gammed, listen to this, Gammed and Ashed me. I normal summon Neptibus send Dragoons. He then Gammed the Neptibus, and then when the Dragoons tried to resolve Engrave, he ashed the Dragoons, and I was just like, what do you want me to do? And I had this in hand. And the interaction with this is quite cool that I had with him with Scrap Wyvern. So he summoned his Scrap Wyvern and he activated the effect. So the effect is it summons back a scrap monster, or I think a machine, either or, and then it pops a card and then summons a card from the grave, correct? So what he did was, as he activated it, I ogred the Scrap Wyvern, and then the Scrap Recycler that it summoned would then blow itself up, still trying its best to resolve the effect of Scrap Wyvern. So he would just end up with no monsters, and then he used his normal summon and he couldn't go further. He did chain a Gizmic, but then ended up using his Scrap Wyvern, which had to pop something to pop the Gizmic, and even then the Scrap Recycler lost timing. So it was irrespective of what had happened, the Scrap Recycler lost timing. So this card's really good. Also, Field Spells Generator is a very big deck that I'm scared of, very scared of, and this card deals with them. So great card in the side, glad I had it. 3 effect Veilers. I was scared of Anaconda and Dragoons, as we should be. I sided them in a couple times, didn't see them at all. Imperms are better, but you know, budget player things. Dark Rulers, sided them in twice, didn't see them. In theory, really good against the Dragoons as well. Forbidden Chalice, this is just for Abyss Dweller, which I lose to, as well as, you know, things like Calamities, and just generally a really good card. I can't afford droplets, things like that, so we ended up playing the Chalices, and then the extra back row hate, which is the Prank Tops, Twin Twisters, and Red Reboot. That's pretty much it for the deck profile, guys. The deck is very, very, very powerful. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, ladies and gentlemen, please leave them down in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing or liking the video. And yeah, I'll check you guys on the next deck profile.